Corrado Beast, and I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're here to present you our NBA morning shoot around for Tuesday, February 12th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This week, you can watch all of our NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and Draftkings cash lineups, and we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure and come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, what up, Jeremy? How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? Good night. I like the slate. Nice little night. Ready to move into tomorrow. Exciting little slate again.
Yeah, tonight, hey, cash lineups did good. Cash, FanDuel, and DraftKings. Hey, solid night for sure. Made some money. And, yeah, man, let's just jump into this 5-game slate. Real quick, before we do jump into this slate, if you guys don't mind, please take that quick second for me. Click the like button down below. I appreciate that from you guys, and it helps me out a lot. So, yeah, let's go. So the first game we're going to go with is going to be the Lakers going into Atlanta to face the Hawks. This game has a 236 over-under, and the Lakers are favored by 8 in this one. I'm sorry, by 5 in this one.
I think this is going to be a fun little game, man. I like the matchup here. Two teams really wide open, young teams, young cores, besides actually, LeBron and Rondo. There's some young players in this game. No real defense should be played, I don't think. You look at LeBron James, game time decision, he's expected to play. It's load management, kind of a new tag they're putting on. I don't want to say elderly players in the league, but more veteran guys, I guess. Load management is how they're kind of getting around not getting fined for arresting guys on national TV games and all this stuff. So LeBron should play. The last 2 games, he's played upwards of 35 minutes and average a triple-double, about 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. So you have to like LeBron at 11-2. The problem is on the slate, there are a lot of spots to pay up for, and pricing is really fair. It's more of a kind of pick your guy who, we don't know what news could develop throughout the day to open up value, but as it sits right now, look at JaVale McGee all the way up to 6.3, up from a 4.8 figure. Brandon Ingram's price is kind of Ingram and Rondo to me are 2 guys I'm really interested in because of their price. Very fair price, mid-range players, going to see a lot of minutes. Rondo should have a really good game going against Trae Young. We know he doesn't play any defense. Kyle Kuzma versus John Collins matchup will be exciting, and I think Kuzma's the more athletic player here. I give him the edge, and his price is $1,000 better. So I think all the Lakers here are in play. You could even look at a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in the situation. You could look at a Reggie Bullock. I believe this is Reggie Bullock's debut with the Lakers. His price is still a little high, and knowing the Lakers like you and I do, I don't see him stepping into 25 minutes tomorrow. You've got Josh Hart, you've got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Those guys have seen a lot of run there. Hart is out, but there's still a Lance Stevenson, right? And those guys have gotten minutes. So I don't expect to see Bullock just jump into 25 minutes. I mean, if you feel differently, weigh in on that.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach on Bullock for sure. No, you hit everybody on the Lakers side. On the Hawks side of things, yes, they're going to score 115 points, and there's going to be some guys that are going to have good games. But the Hawks they're starting to get a little bit more healthy. They're kind of getting a little bit more of a log jam. As we like to say sometimes, you got Alex Lynn and Dedmon splitting a lot of minutes. You got, Prince has came back in the starting lineup, but he hasn't really been doing nothing, to be honest with you. And he definitely has upside. I think that he's a GPP play. Bazemore, he's on the minutes limit, playing 15, 16 minutes a game. You got to wait till that comes up. Bembry, he's minimum price. He's a guy that has upside, but he doesn't really get the minutes with Prince back. I honestly think just for Atlanta, the guys I'm really going to be looking at is just going to be John Collins and Trae Young. Both of those guys could definitely run up and down the court. Very young guys, very active, and I think that this game really, really suits those guys' games a lot. And I definitely like both of those guys. Those are my favorite 2 guys on the Hawks. I mean, did I miss anybody that you like or
Alex Lynn?
Yeah, 4,000. Yeah, no, I like him too. Like I say, he just hasn't been getting the minutes. I was actually looking at him.
You're right, but you look at what he's done against the Lakers. He had a 44-point and a 28-point game the last 2 times he's played him. Familiar opponent being the Lakers since he's been in Phoenix. And my thing is this. with Zubac gone, you have two old centers, right? You've got McGee and you've got Tyson Chandler. So when Tyson Chandler's not going to get heavy minutes, and when Lynn comes in, it should be against Tyson Chandler. And Tyson Chandler, as good of a rebounder as the guy is, he's a close to the basket player. Alex Lynn can stretch it out of the paint a little bit, and I think he's a lot lengthier than Tyson Chandler is. I like the spot for Alex Lynn in tournaments a lot.
Yeah, no, I like him, and he's almost in that range of a drop spot, for sure. 4,000, it's kind of right there in that spot. So GPP play, definitely think you could throw him in a lineup or two, and if not, he'll be your drop spot. Kind of move on. Next game we're gonna go with, it's gonna be the Orlando Magic going into New Orleans to face the Pelicans. This game has a 225.5 over under. The Pelicans are favored by 4.5 in this one.
Another one, man. I like this game too. This is gonna be a fun slate, and here again, on both sides of this, you have decisions to make on pay up spots, and you've got guys who are very fair priced. You look at Evan Fournier 6.2, Jonathan Isaac 6.4, Aaron Gordon 7.1, and Vucevic is at 9.9. I probably like Vucevic the best of the Orlando players. DJ Augustine's price is all the way up to 5,400 now, and rightfully so, right? I mean, he's been playing a lot better, and his price indicates that. Terrence Ross, his price all the way up to 6,000 here, and rightfully so. It should be the way he's been playing. So the problem here with the Orlando side of it is they're just too fair priced. You're not getting a bargain on anybody in particular here. I mean, 9.9 for Vucevic. You're looking at tournament value. You need somewhere around 55.4 fantasy points. Can he do that? We know he has that upside, and it's not a bad matchup for Vucevic. But is that your pay up spot? Is that the one guy you want to pay up for that you think is going to have the monster game on the slate? Because the way this slate shakes out, that's kind of the choice you have to make. So, if you're going to go with a more balanced build, I can see getting Aaron Gordon in at a power forward spot at 7-1. But I think Isaac and Fournier and Augustine and Terrence Ross, I think the price has gotten too high.
Yeah, no, I get you. On the New Orleans side of things, it's a little bit tricky. A couple guys that I think that you can look at, probably GPP plays both of them, or Drew Holiday, Kenrich Williams. I think both of them are definitely in play. And then we get to the big guys. So I mean, they're kind of messing with Anthony Davis's head a little bit. They didn't play him a fourth quarter, and they're kind of dicking around on minutes. I think that before, when they loved Anthony Davis, he was playing 39, 40 minutes a game. They were trying to get wins. Now, I think they're, like I said, they're messing with them a little bit. They got Okafor, who's been playing very, very well. So I think he's not saying going to get a ton, but he's going to, instead of Anthony Davis playing those high 30s, he's going to play low 30s. A couple minutes will go to Okafor. And then Julius Randle, he kind of gets, they have a little three-man thing going. And Julius Randle coming off the bench at 8,000. He's definitely a GPP play because the guy has an upside any night. I just think right now that they're really going to play Randle, Okafor, and Anthony Davis all at the big spot. So it's kind of taken away from each other. I honestly don't know what to do with the Pelicans. I mean, what do you think about Anthony Davis at the 12-5 spot?
Bro, just very quickly, we know the trade, the rumors of the trade. We know that Dell Demps played poker and he's got a losing hand now. And then we know that they threatened to sit him out, and the NBA came back and said they pulled their punk card and said, sit him out, we'll fine you every single game you sit him out. So they said, fine, we'll play him. And then, like you said, they don't play him in the fourth quarter. This is Dell Demps playing games. This is Dell Demps. This is not Lionel Hollins. I feel so bad for the guy. Lionel Hollins is a really good basketball coach, and he's caught in the middle of this. I hope it doesn't cost him his coaching job. Drew Holiday, that's my answer. The one guy you can count on that they're not going to dick around is Drew Holiday. And if Anthony Davis goes off, if Julius Randle goes off, with Elfrid Payton out for an extended period of time now, the one guy that's going to facilitate this offense is Drew Holiday. And this is an Orlando team that he can expose. I really do feel that. And it's a good matchup. Like, if they're going to play those three guys on the big spots, you're going to rotate Randle, and they're going to rotate Okafor, and they're going to rotate Anthony Davis. Drew Holiday is going to be the biggest beneficiary of that, because one, it's going to be floor spacing for him to knock down shots, and two, he's going to get assists off his passes into the paint, and these guys converting hoops. So I think Drew Holiday is the one trust spot. If you're going to look for a guy to play in cash, to me it would be Drew Holiday. The other guys are fine for tournaments.
Hey, that's exactly how I feel, for sure. We're on the same page. So yeah, moving on to the next game. Next game we're gonna go with is gonna be the San Antonio Spurs going into Memphis to face the Grizzlies. This game has a 209 implied total, which is the lowest by far on the slate. And San Antonio is favored by 4 in this one.
I feel like San Antonio, I mentioned it before, they've got the second or third best record in the league over the last 30 games. And I feel like they're a little bit disrespected on all levels, right? They're under the radar as a basketball team. I don't think anybody realizes that they've won that many games, especially out of the last 30. Number two, their pricing doesn't reflect a team that's been playing really good, right? And you look at this and you compare them to what we just said with Orlando, right? A couple of weeks ago, even last week, Terrence Ross, 5,000 all the way down 5,000, 5.2, 5.4, right? Fournier was a 5'8" guy. Isaac was a 5,055. Their prices all adjusted. I feel like San Antonio is Orlando last week. There's guys here at Rudy Gay at 5.9. You can definitely load him up. DeMar DeRozan, 8.1. We know the guy's a 9,000 plus player. And this year he's added the assists to his kind of repertoire. He wasn't asked to do that in Toronto because they had Kyle Lowry. He's added that to his game and he's done it. And LaMarcus Aldridge has had some really big games this year. And I feel like this is a value price by a few $100s on LaMarcus Aldridge, especially in a spot where a young Jaren Jackson is really playing the center for them. I feel like this is a spot that you could load some Spurs up, probably be off the radar, probably be contrarian, really good tournament plays. Even Bryn Forbes and Patty Mills for the run they're getting with Derek White out and no Dejounte Murray for the rest of the season, their prices now and the opportunity they have are still cheap for the amount of minutes they're going to see, especially Bryn Forbes, right? So Bertans, Forbes, tournaments, Rudy Gay, probably a tournament. DeRozan and Aldridge, one of those guys is probably safe for cash, but I think exposure to all of those guys is fair.
Yeah, man. On the Grizzlies side of things, for me, I mean, the guys that are going to get minutes. I mean, I think that Rab and Jaren Jackson, 6'4", 6'7". I think both of those guys are in play. I don't know if I feel comfortable with them in cash, but we have like bigs going against San Antonio. We always talk about it that Aldridge isn't a very good defender. So I think both of those guys are definitely in play. You can go to the captain himself, Mike Conley, 8.7. I think this is a spot that he can have a really, really good game. The Spurs don't have a true point guard. They don't have a guy that can really, just lock this guy down. If it's going to be him going against Forbes, I definitely will go Conley any day. They need this guy to score. They need him to facilitate the ball. They pretty much need him to do everything if they actually want to win some games. I mean, with the kind of roster they have right now. Justin Holiday, he's been a fair play. He's the guy that plays a ton of minutes. But the price tag, it isn't a give me price tag anymore. 5.3, need about 26 for value. Definitely think that he can get there. I think it's a fair price tag on him. Avery Bradley, he's a guy that he's interesting. 3.6. If he's going to be in the starting lineup and play a ton of minutes, we know the Grizzlies like playing their starters a lot of minutes. Then I think he'll be in play. Avery Bradley, even this year with the Clippers, and he just hasn't looked right. And I got to see him actually do something. But he is cheap enough for a drop spot play if you want to throw him in a couple of GPPs. Outside of that, I mean, it's kind of the problem with Avery Bradley. I feel like he's splitting minutes between him, between Miles, and between Dylan Wright. I feel like all those guys are really kind of splitting minutes now. Justin Holiday is going to get his minutes down a little bit as well. So for me, it's really just Mike Conley. You can look Rab and Jackson.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Cool. Next game we're going to go with is going to be the Boston Celtics going into Philadelphia to face the 76ers. This game has a 226 over-under, and Philadelphia is favored by 6 in this one.
I like this one, man.
Real quick. And we know that Kyrie Irving is out for this one.
He is out, and I like this one. I like this game a lot. I think this is a chip on your shoulder game if you're Boston. I just do. I think this is a chip on your shoulder game with something to prove. I don't know if you caught the TNT thing on trade deadline where Shaq said that he had dinner with Boston's owner and he told Shaq the night before, like, we are not making a move. I like this young team we have. We're not trading anybody. We're not making a move today. I don't think he cares if they keep Kyrie. I think that Boston likes this young core of guys, and that's why I don't think they're going to go get Anthony Davis. I think that I just don't, unless they're thinking, oh, we'll get Anthony Davis to add to this core of players. But there's the Tatum deal, right? All these guys are in play tomorrow. Al Horford's in play. Jason Tatum's in play. Rozier's in play. Marcus Smart's in play. I'll even put Marcus Morris in play. We know the uptick that all of these players get, including Jaylen Brown, when Kyrie Irving is out. We know the games Terry Rozier has had in the past filling in for Kyrie Irving in a starting spot. Jason Tatum is a really good matchup because I feel like he's a lot more athletic than Tobias Harris is. It's just this always comes down to a matter of shots and who's going to get the basketball and how the game flow is going to go. You have to like the most, though, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, and Jaylen Brown, in my opinion, just because of the way that Philadelphia has constructed their roster with Tobias Harris, with Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, a big point guard, Embiid obviously in the middle. Jimmy Butler, a good perimeter defender, and then Tobias Harris is a very lengthy player as well. So you have to like the little kind of dash and duck and dive guys, right? And Rozier and Marcus Smart. And I think Marcus Smart's probably my favorite play at 5.4 on the Boston side of it.
Yeah, man. So now we got the 76ers that are absolutely loaded. You got Embiid, Harris, Simmons, Butler, and I'll even throw in Redick. He's playing well.
I think he's the biggest beneficiary, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's had two really, really good games back to back. So I definitely think that I'm going to start with JJ Redick, 5.7, very fair price tag. Like I said, the guy's been hot. I mean, he had back-to-back games. I'll pull this up for you really, really quick. Of 39, 35 fantasy points. Since he has all these stars around him, basically everybody's forgetting about him, and he's getting wide open shots. I like JJ Redick a lot. Tobias Harris, 7.2, think it's a very fair price tag. He's played well the past couple games since coming over. The guy that I think is really actually getting the downtick of it is really Ben Simmons, because he's used to being really, really ball dominant and having the ball a lot. And with all these other guys, I mean, he's not having the ball and he's not having to do so much. And he's not a guy that's just going to really score. I mean, you can see the past two games, he's got you 17 fantasy points and 24 fantasy points. I'm not going to say he's going to have a complete, down spin because of what's going on. But I think fantasy-wise, you're probably going to see him more in the regulars of 35, maybe low 40s, occasionally with the big game. And that's just what it is. And the price tag's still a little bit too high kind of for what he has going on. So he's the guy I'm kind of like on a little bit. Even Jimmy Butler, I think you could look at him as well, 8.2. I like all five starters for the 76ers. I think they're in play. But that's really where I'm going to keep it as, probably just with the starters. You possibly throw in a McConnell. He's a guy they like to get some minutes too, and that's about it, man.
So did you see the drama that happened today with the 76ers?
No, what happened?
So from what I read and what I understand, and I could be wrong, I could have it backwards, Ben Simmons sought out Magic Johnson because he wanted some advice on being a big man playing point guard on a team that has a bunch of players like they've got.
Right.
And then Magic fired back that he would be happy to sit down with them. And then Elton Brand got in the middle of it as, the Philadelphia general manager and said, we're going to file tampering charges with the office. Ben Simmons is definitely not sitting down with Magic Johnson. This dude's not even a free agent until I think 2020, right? Like, what are they tampering with? I don't get it.
Yeah, he just wanted to help the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, because you see it. It's like he's not a guy that like scores the ball like a lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
He has all these scores around him now. Like, just each starter could pretty much get 20 points, and he's going to get 10 points. I mean, that's just, he's not a scorer like that. And then but anyways,
the guy I think that would help Ben Simmons a lot is Kobe, because Kobe was really good at later in his career. Kobe kind of discovered letting the game come to you. You know what I mean? Like, Kobe go a whole quarter and wouldn't take a shot. He let the game come to him, and then he would get hot. Ben Simmons is a really good passer. If he figures out how to set other guys up, I think that's why you look at the matchups, and Redick's had two good games because Redick is a really good player to come off a screen. He's got really big guys setting screens out there.
Right. Hey, moving on. Last game we got out of the night, the Utah Jazz going into Golden State to face the Warriors. This game has the 229.5 over under, and Golden State's favored by 8.5 in this one.
I'm just trying to figure out who I like here, man. I mean, Rudy Gobert, back in December, he went for 42.5. The price is $9,000. That's almost cash value at almost a 5x figure. But it's not the guy I want to pay up for tomorrow, And as we've moved through this, I'm sure that you've seen everybody that really is in play is at least $6,000 tomorrow. So there's not a lot of value on the board. There's not a lot of guys to look at as of now. And so who do you want to pay up for? I think the one guy that I would look at in this spot would be Joe Ingles, and possibly a Ricky Rubio. But in comparison, I think Rajon Rondo at 6.2 has a little bit better matchup than Ricky Rubio at 6.3. But, if you want a late night exposure, I wouldn't have a problem with getting some exposure to Rubio. Donovan Mitchell, I'd much rather look across the street at Klay Thompson and say I'll pay 7-4 for Klay in this one instead of 8-3 for Donovan Mitchell. So there's nothing over here I'm really excited about. Joe Ingles is probably a guy I would get tournament exposure to tomorrow, and maybe a little bit of Jay Crowder, just because I know that that's a pretty good price for both those players who should see at least 20 to 25 minutes, and they can get hot from beyond the arc. They can knock some shots down. Crowder, we know, can get you a rebound, a steal or two. So they would have potential to exceed value. But outside of that, I'm good with Utah Jazz.
Yeah, on the worst side of things, hey, not trying to take the easy route, but you can play all 5 starters. I think all 5 starters are all fair priced. The price tags are very, very fair. Draymond, he really stands out, 6.9. You need pretty much just 34 from Draymond. He's coming off a game where he had 14 assists. I really, really like Draymond. I think he's a really good cash game play. DeMarcus Cousins going against Gobert. This is a little bit of a tough matchup for him. Not saying that he can't have a good game. He definitely can. And he's still, a fair price for DeMarcus Cousins. I just don't know how much I really like the spot for him. Steph Curry, 9.1, going to be going head-to-head against Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio isn't the best defender for sure. I definitely think this is a game Curry can have a really good game. Honestly, I like the starters. That's really where I'm at with the Warriors. And like I said, Green is the one that stands out for me.
Yeah, I'm going to just mention Klay Thompson, man, because that's the guy, like I said, when he's in this $7,000, $7,500 price range, the guy gets you 35. He gets you 35.
Yeah, no, for sure. The floor is there. He gives you a really good floor for sure. Hey, man, that's what we got for you guys. 5 games wrapped up. Just kind of get your preview of what we're looking at and what we think, first look at tomorrow. Hey, tomorrow we will be back with our NBA Core Plays video. We will be back with our NBA Live segment an hour before lock. So make sure to turn on notifications on. This way you don't miss any of our videos. And, hey, that's all we got for you guys. So good luck tomorrow and peace out.